Hello there, everyone. How are you doing? Welcome to Count Julius's narration of the day. Please like and subscribe. My goal is to get to 1,000 subs on YouTube. And then I have a big surprise for you. A pillow art that you can buy. So, if you want to see that happen, like and subscribe, and maybe share this with your friends. Comment how it made you feel. Now, that's enough self-shilling. Let's get started.
It is Halloween night, and you are out trick-or-treating when you hear a torrent of screams pierce the darkness. As you look for where the sound is coming from, you see a group of kids running your way, candy bags forgotten on the street. In their haste, horror etched on their faces. "Run!" they shout. "They're coming!" You look up the street behind them, and you can just make out a horde of decaying, mindless, brain-eating zombies shuffling into view. You try to turn to run, but find you're paralyzed with fear. This is a horror story around the campfire. But what really happened? And what does it have to do with Camp Still Waters? Who knows? But you decide to find out what the real story is. The story goes that 20 years ago, a few kids at your school got lost in the woods. You heard how the kids have tried to find help for 2 days, but found no one. Finally, they had eaten the meat that they had with them, and that they could no longer carry on. Frozen in place, waiting to die. Zombies found the kids on the 3rd day. The first night, 3 of them got eaten. The second night, 2 got eaten. The kids became infected, and they became zombies. Then they got control of the entire city. The people of the city fought back. They fought back with fire. A massive fire swept through the entire city, killing everyone except for one girl and boy. The girl was named Lucy. She was happy to survive, but the boy named Tom was sad. He didn't want the gift of life. He wanted to perish. They lived together in an abandoned farmhouse. Lucy and Tom were happy living at the farmhouse for a while, but one day something horrible happened. One night Lucy wakes up from her sleep and hears terrible noises outside her door. Something was waiting outside the window, as if he vanished from the door and mysteriously appeared in front of the window, 2 stories up. The stranger offered them a deal. If they would follow him, he could lead them to freedom. What freedom meant was up to him and not the kids, however. So the kids blindly followed him. They followed him to the ends of the earth and the end of their lives, as the stranger turned out to be a vampire and drank their poor, precious blood. He turned out to be the pastor of a dark, dark church as well. In a church of pure black, in holiness it did lack. The pastor has gone insane, because he knew God was his bane. His punishment was far from tame. he was sent to the bowels of the earth. Many could tell, but he couldn't tell, because he might as well have taken his soul to sell. However, that doesn't change the fact that he isn't well and full of tact. But then one day he met his match. The kids were avenged by their long-forgotten father. He had a match. He set the vampire on fire. He didn't put him out even though the vampire was in a situation so dire. And then, and only then, when the vampire asked for mercy, the father went up and said, "This is for Lucy." The father lived the rest of his days alone without his kids, in a saddened craze. Everything turns to dust in the end. That is a fact that nobody can undefend.